Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Desiree and you may be here on this video today because you follow my Instagram page, which is Woke Up Like Des. I made that page about a year and a half ago in hopes to document my weight loss journey and build community of people around me and get ideas from recipes and workouts from people who are on the same journey as me. Now, in the last year and a half, when I had my gastric bypass surgery and I've been dieting and exercising, I've lost 150 pounds. So with that, there are so many questions from you guys, and I just wanted to take some time to answer those. On a post I did a while back, I asked you guys to drop your questions down below and I would answer them in a YouTube video. So I'm so excited because I'm finally doing the YouTube video. I've been putting this off for so long. So I'm really excited to kind of get going on this and just want to keep it simple and sit here and talk to you guys and just answer some of the basic questions, like the more common ones that I get every day. And I'm definitely not going to be able to get through them all today, but I just thought I would give it a start. Probably going to stick most to gastric bypass related questions, but I've got my iPad right here, so I'll go on to my post and see the questions you guys posted, and I'll just start answering those as we go. Okay, so here's a good one. What made you decide to get the bypass rather than the sleeve? So for me personally, I just wanted my surgeon's advice. So basically he told me I have the choice. I can choose if I want to do the gastric bypass or the gastric sleeve. And for me, most of the people I followed on social media and YouTube, they had the gastric bypass, so I saw that the results were definitely amazing. And because I have always been heavy my entire life, my surgeon said that the gastric bypass would be a better option for me because I wasn't just one of those people who I gained weight right after high school for the first time, or I had a child and then I gained weight that I never lost. It was an actual issue I've dealt with my entire life, so I needed something that was definitely going to be more permanent, and it's definitely the more scary one. They're cutting you up and rerouting things, and how you absorb food changes forever. It's scary, and the thought of someone going under the knife and getting a surgery that's irreversible is really scary. So my surgeon said it's totally up to you, but he recommended the gastric bypass for me, so I was like, perfect, that's kind of what I wanted anyways. So we just went with it, and that's how I made my decision. Okay, here's another good one. I really want to get the gastric bypass, but my parents think that it's the easy way out. How can I tell them that it's not? Okay, so I dealt with some really similar situations. So when I was first thinking about getting my weight loss surgery, I was 21 years old, and yeah, that's really young for any major surgeries. So I kind of brought it up to my family, and they're like, oh, okay, like, you know, we can look into that. My twin sister, on the other hand, was terrified. She's like, you're not getting that. I've heard the horror stories. She cried. She didn't want me to get it done. And I had friends who were like, you're going to do that? Like, that doesn't work. People gain their weight back. Your stomach's going to stretch out again. Oh, that's the easy way out. And I definitely did get a lot of like negative feedback, but I also got a lot of positive feedback. So that was kind of hard because here I am being 21 years old and I'm hearing one thing like it could be really great and it could be really bad. So what do I do? So I'll just kind of share my story and how that happened. So it's really awesome. Things like really worked out for me in such an amazing way, and I totally believe God had his hand on the whole situation. And when my timing came, it was totally perfect timing and everything happened exactly how they were supposed to. So what happened was I was 21 years old, and for the first time ever I was considering gastric bypass or bariatric surgery depending on what my surgeon wanted me to do. So how I started my entire process was I went to my primary doctor and I basically just told her, hey, you know, you've been seeing me my entire life and I just keep on getting bigger, and it's getting to the point where it hurts to stand on my feet at work. I feel like nothing I do helps me lose weight. I'm going to the gym, I'm eating 500 calories a day, 1,000 calories a day. I'm dieting and just doing so much, but how come the weight doesn't fall off for me? And she was like, well, maybe we can consider gastric bypass surgery for you. And I was like, perfect, I thought you'd never ask. So that's what I wanted to talk to her about anyways. Like, she's really awesome and really easy to talk to. So of course she explained to me that, you know, this isn't the first decision and I don't want you to do this until you feel like you've truly tried everything. So we talked about it, but what I want you to do is continue to do what you're doing and take some time and really try to exercise and diet. And maybe we can set you up with a nutritionist and see someone who can show you some exercise. So I don't want you to just jump the gun on getting the gastric bypass. I want you to first try. I know you've been trying, but I want you to try again and try harder and continue exercising, continue dieting, and let's see you in a few months and see how you've done. So I did just that, and I continued to go to the gym just as I always have. I've always been really active, if not more active than most of my friends or family. But yeah, the weight really wasn't going anywhere. Sometimes it, fluctuate by 5 pounds, or when I was going really good, I would lose 20 pounds and then plateau, and then I'd gain it again, and then lose 20 and then stop there. And I just felt like I could never get past that 20-pound mark, which was like really, really disheartening, and it made me want to give up. So I got to this point where I was like, well, what's the point in trying to lose weight if I just can't lose weight? I have hypothyroid disease. So I can't lose weight, and if I can't do weight loss surgery to lose weight, then, I felt so lost. So I went back to her and I was like, I have been trying, I've been giving it an honest try, just like I always have been, and I just really think that we should look into, maybe giving me a consultation with a surgeon, and maybe we can talk about getting bariatric surgery. So she did. She wrote me up a referral, and I was set up right away to go talk to the surgeon, who was covered actually by my insurance. Everything was going really good, and when you are going to pursue bariatric surgery, there's an entire list of things that they want you to complete. You have to go in and do a sleep apnea test. They want to see how your heartbeat is while you're sleeping. If you're one of those people that comes close to not being able to breathe, it happens like to so many people. Fortunately, I never dealt with any of that, but if you're really heavy, sometimes you can have a really hard time breathing, and your heart gets like really close to stopping when you sleep, and it's terrifying. So when you're going through surgery and you're being put under, you can't have your heart stop. So they want to do these tests to make sure if you need to be connected to any heart monitors and stuff like that. So you got to go do your sleep apnea test. You have to go get blood work done. You have to go do an endoscopy where they stick a camera down your throat and check out your stomach. They want to look for any ulcers or anything wrong that could potentially be in the way of you getting the surgery done. They set me up with a nutritionist, someone who taught us about food and explained what life after surgery would look like in terms of eating portions and healthy foods and how to make healthy changes, all stuff that most people already know, but it's just kind of part of the process. They want you to do that. What else? We had to go see a psychologist, someone who you can sit down and they sit there and talk to you, and they basically explain like, okay, you're getting this surgery, but you have to understand that you're not going to wake up the next day looking like a Barbie doll. Like, it's still going to take time. You have to be committed. You have to follow the rules and be disciplined for the rest of your life. This isn't the easy way out like some people think. You still have to put in all the extra effort, all the extra work, and diet and make good decisions and, go exercise. Even if it is just walking around the block, you need to make lifestyle changes. And this isn't the answer. If you suffer from depression or just like your self-image due to your obesity, then we're here to fix that before you go into getting the surgery thinking that that's the quick fix. So all of these things, I could keep on going. They have you do all that. Now, with that entire list of things they want you to do, it can be an entire year, sometimes 2-year process to get done, especially if you're someone like me where you're getting this done through insurance. Like if your insurance is covering it, then you're in line to get it done. So I was 21 years old when I started the process, and about a year went by, and I was doing all my appointments, seeing my nutritionist, and every time I would see the nutritionist, she was like, you need to lose 15 more pounds. I come back 5 pounds lighter. You need to lose 10 more pounds. And she's like, okay, I want you to lose 20 more pounds. And I'm like, I've been working so hard to get where you want me to be, but I literally can't do anymore. I'm eating 500 calories a day, and I'm working out. I'm running on the elliptical and the treadmill until it says 1,500 calories burned, but I'm only eating 500. Like, I'm trying to burn double what I'm eating, and I know that can be kind of unhealthy, but that's just what I was really, really trying to do, was just drop my weight so I could get my surgery. And every time I would go see her, she was like, you need to lose more, you need to lose more. We're not operating on you until you lose more. And I just felt so like defeated. I was like, well, how am I supposed to lose more if I literally can't? And meanwhile is when I was hearing all these extra opinions from family and friends and people who were like, that's the easy way out. You're too young to do that. Are you sure you've tried everything? And I was just like getting really disheartened, and I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure if I should continue to pursue it. And so eventually, after all the negative feedback and feeling so bummed and depressed that I literally wasn't able to lose weight, I decided to just totally drop the ball on it. Meanwhile, a lot of people were telling me, if you do get the surgery, don't go through that surgeon, go through Dr. Billy, who's another really well-known surgeon in my area. I know 4 people who went through him, and they're like, he's amazing, he travels all around the world to do his surgeries, he really cares for you, he will take care of you literally for the rest of your life, and he's just amazing, and he has never had any crazy complications, he's the best. So if you're gonna do it, don't go to the guy who's just doing it for free. Even if it's gonna cost you money, this is your body, this is your life, you might as well just invest in it and go for it. So I dropped the ball with the other surgeon, and I was like, okay, maybe eventually I'll start saving up when I finish school, and maybe I'll save up and get my gastric bypass surgery done with Dr. Billy, the really well-known guy who's here in Ventura. And a few years went by, and I found myself at 23 years old, weighing 298 pounds, and I just had a really, really rough year. I just felt like every month I was gaining and blowing up, and I was like, wow, like I cannot continue on like this. And there were just so many moments, which I would love to share some of those moments with you another time. I just call them like my click moments, like times when I was like, wow, I need to do something. Something's gotta give. Like, I cannot continue living like this. So I'll share those another time. But after having such a rough year and being nearly 300 pounds, the highest I ever saw on the scale was 298 pounds, I decided to reach out to my primary doctor again, and I told her, hey, listen, I know 2 years ago I told you I wanted the gastric bypass surgery, but then I totally dropped the ball on it, and I want to do it again. I've done my research, I've took some time to really think about it, and it's still really what I want to do, and I want to commit this time, and I want to go through with it. And she's like, well, why did you drop the ball? And I was like, well, part of me really wanted to go through with Dr. Billy, but you know, I just would rather go through, you know, whatever my insurance is going to cover, because I'm still a student and I'm not going to be able to afford this, but I know that this is what I need. Like, my body I can't continue like this. I'm in pain all the time. And she was like looking at me with like the biggest smile, and she was like, wow, like I have some amazing news for you. And I was like, what? Like, so like thrown off, you know? And she was like, literally as of 3 days ago, Dr. Billy is now covered by your insurance, and you can get your gastric bypass completely covered through him. And I was like, wait, what? Like, it was so crazy. And like, thinking back on the moment, I was just like, wow, like things back when I was 21 didn't work out, and I was so bummed and depressed that it wasn't working out, and it was such a long process, and I was being so impatient. But now coming full circle and seeing like, oh wow, all of those things didn't work out before because they were meant to work out eventually later on in life, which is totally fine. So it's just cool to see how everything kind of eventually finds its own perfect timing in your life. And the craziest part of all that was, not only was my preferred surgeon now covered completely by my insurance, I wasn't gonna have to pay a penny. There was no one under my insurance that even knew about him being on it yet. So there was no line. And the process to complete that list of everything with the nutritionist, the psychologist, the sleep apnea test, I had to do that again because now it was with a new surgeon. But it didn't take a year and a half or 2 years. I got it all done within months. And when I seen my doctor, it was in October, and I ended up laying down under the knife in December. So it was like about a 3-month process, and I was just so grateful that it all worked out that way. And it was just so evident to me that everything worked out exactly how it was supposed to. And that's just kind of my cool story with that. And so if you are someone who wants to get this surgery and, you know, you're getting all that negative feedback just like I was, I would say don't jump the gun and don't just say, okay, yep, I want to get the gastric bypass, I want to get the sleeve. Wait until you feel like you've truly done everything, until you feel like you've done that keto diet, you've gone to boot camp, you've started walking around your neighborhood every night, you started dieting and watching your calories and tracking what you're eating. Until you feel like you've really tried everything, I wouldn't just suggest that anyone should just go and say, all right, give me the surgery, because like I said, it's not the easy way out. And just like any other weight loss method, like gyms and diets and different workout routines, it takes dedication and commitment. So with that, definitely take your time, do your research, and find a surgeon that's going to be like really perfect for you. And don't let the other negativity from other people get in the way, because at the end of the day, it is about what's going to make you happy. I will say that committing to getting the gastric bypass surgery was the best decision that I made by myself for myself, and my life is completely changed ever since that. Like, as cheesy as it sounds, it's literally the most life-changing thing I've ever done, and I am grateful every single day that I did it because I truly feel like a new person. I'm like 25 years old and literally living for the first time ever, and it's just the weirdest thing ever, but I'm so grateful that I'm here today and able to share my entire journey with you guys. So, with that said, let's continue answering some more questions. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to continue answering more questions related to the surgery. With questions like life before and after weight loss. I'll wait to get more in depth with those in another video. But in regards to like the actual procedure and prepping for it and all that, I'll continue answering those so it's kind of organized in at least some sort of way, because there are so many questions I want to answer for you guys, but I could literally be here talking all day, and if you haven't noticed, I am quite the talker. So let's go. Okay. What did you drink for the liquid diet before surgery? So, like I mentioned before, there are different stages and different things that they have you do to prepare for surgery. One of the things that surgeons have us do is go on a liquid diet, and what that does is prepare our liver for surgery. I believe what that does is help make our liver smaller, so it's kind of easier for the surgeon to work around. The tools can go around it, and it's less likely to like puncture and stuff like that. I know that sounds scary, but trust me, these guys know what they're doing, and it's totally fine. Just be cooperative and follow directions. So, liquid diets. Yes, I had to do it too. Actually, most people have to do their liquid diet for about a week or two. I only had to do mine for 4 days, and I know I'm like got crazy lucky in that way, and I feel so bad because some people are like, I've been on liquids for 14 days and I'm actually dying, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I literally can't imagine, because when you're doing a liquid diet, all you want to do is like take a bite into something. It doesn't matter what it is, but you need to chew, and it's dreadful. So, I only had to do mine for like 4 days because my surgeon ended up squeezing me in while I was on my Christmas break through school, and I was like, please call me if anyone cancels, because I'm on break from school, and if I'm gonna miss any school, this is gonna be perfect because I don't want to have to miss any school. So, anyways, I was on liquids for I think 4 or 5 days, and what I did was I drank a lot of protein shakes. Now, I had like a weird time with some protein. I would throw it up if it didn't agree with my stomach, so it was a little difficult finding a protein that agreed with my stomach. What I ended up loving was the Premier protein, which I found at Costco, but I know that they also sell it at Walmart, and I believe you could buy it on Amazon, so they're like everywhere. And there's so many different flavors. But what I love about those ones is they come in a little carton, like about this big, and they're already mixed in for you. You don't have to grab a scoop of powder and blend it or mix it. It's just already liquid. So I like to keep them in the fridge, keep them nice and cold, sometimes in the freezer if I want them a little icy. And you just grab and go, and you can sip on it throughout the day. So I drank a couple protein shakes a day, I think about 2. And then I did some chicken broth for flavor, and it kind of gave me like that mental idea like I was having something a little more savory like dinner. And my surgeon actually also let us know that Jell-O was okay. A lot of people are like, is Jell-O okay? It's kind of a solid. According to my surgeon, it was fine, so I lived off of Jell-O like every night as like a treat, and it kind of gave me that feeling like I was eating something, and that was super helpful. Let's see, what else? What's your biggest piece of advice for someone who is about to go into surgery? So my biggest piece of advice, and I think anyone who's out here on Instagram kind of documenting their journey just like me will tell you this, take pictures. Now, unfortunately, I was at this low point in my life where I was at my heaviest, and I hated what I saw in the mirror. I hated taking pictures, and unfortunately, I did not want to take any pictures. Like, when I do my side-by-side photos, they're pretty much all a month post-op, because that month of like December when I was my heaviest, it was my birthday, it was the holidays, I was my biggest, and like, gosh, the reality of being about 300 pounds, it was so tough for me to face. And so anytime it came to like any pictures, I was just like, no, don't put me in it. Like, I was just, and that's not me. Like, anyone who knows me, I'm like picture queen. I want to document everything, like take a picture or it didn't happen. And it was like, you knew that something was off, because during that entire month, like, I did not want to do any pictures, and my twin sister and I had our birthday. It's on December 23rd, so Christmas Eve's Eve is what I say. But I didn't post a single picture for my birthday that night just because of how much I hated how I looked. And I did not want to stand there and look in a mirror and take a selfie and just see how big my body was. Like, that was the last thing I wanted to do. So my advice is, even if you hate what you see in the mirror just like I did, take your pictures, because you will want to be able to look back and, you know, do those side-by-side photos and compare. You know, sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, like, I really don't see a difference. Like, it says on the scale I've lost 40 pounds, but I really don't feel any different. But I promise you, you will start to notice those differences, and most of that helps when you see pictures of yourself, even if it's just in your face at first, or maybe your arm, or maybe you see like a shirt that fit you a little tighter is now a little looser. And just, it's gonna be worth it. So just bite the bullet and take your pictures, and don't be like me and neglect it because you hate it and you hate yourself. Just get over it and take your pictures, because you will thank yourself later. Okay, what's next? I want to get the surgery, but I'm afraid of loose and saggy skin. Okay, I get this literally every single day. And trust me, I understand. Having loose and saggy skin, it sucks. And yeah, it's not cute. No one wants that hanging out over their bikini or over their underwear or hanging over their pants. Like, no one wants that. But I will just say that having loose skin is way better than being 300 pounds, I promise you. And it makes it so worth it. Now, I will kind of share what I do about my loose skin, because I definitely have some. I definitely feel like I'm a little more, I'm a little different in that way, because for whatever reason, I don't have as much as normal people, and I think that that's because I work out a lot. So definitely a tip for you if you are going to be going through any big weight loss journey, whether it's with bariatric surgery or just you need to lose a lot of weight. Definitely continue to lift weights and do your weight training, and definitely cardio to drop that weight initially. And then lifting weights really helps tighten it up. But unfortunately, a lot of people said, oh, you're 24, it's going to bounce right back. Okay, well, it didn't exactly bounce back, because I was so heavy and my skin was stretched out for literally my entire life. So yeah, it didn't exactly bounce back, but I have a few things that I do to help it not be so obvious. One of them is I wear high-waisted pants, and one of my girlfriends, Brenda, you guys may follow her on Instagram, it's plus size through my eyes. She is like the first friend I made on Instagram. The day I made my page, she reached out and was like, welcome to the WLS weight loss surgery community. If you need anything ever, here's my number, message me anytime if you have any questions. And I was like, I like you, and we basically became sisters by the next day. So love you, Brenda, and this trick is from her. Okay, she was wearing these jeans, and I now wear them. She told me that this trick, when you wear high-waisted pants that have multiple buttons, it definitely helps suck everything in. And so, yeah, I stay wearing high-waisted pants, even though my loose skin is all down here. The compression that the multiple buttons adds really helps hold it in. So, high-waisted pants with multiple buttons is definitely a good move. Thank you, Brenda. You have saved my life. Another trick is wearing, in the gym, compression leggings. And at first I was dropping $50 a pair on these from Fabletics, which I love Fabletics. I have the subscription and I love all their colors and what they have to offer, but it is a little expensive. So I definitely recommend compression leggings, Fabletics, or more affordable pairs. Forever 21 has some as well, and they have really, really cute workout clothes as well. And they're high-waisted with compression, and honestly, best thing ever. I feel so much more comfortable when I feel like it's not just like on blast. And so many tops these days are like crop tops, so I don't exactly always want my lower belly just like hanging out. So if I could have something that kind of like pushes it in, that's a good day. Moral of the story is, don't let the fear of loose skin stop you from your weight loss journey, or stop you from continuing on to your weight loss journey, because there are things you can do about loose skin, like compression leggings, high-waisted pants, and tummy tucks, skin tape stapling. There are so many options out there, and yeah, that's just kind of part of the journey, and I definitely don't feel like it's worth it to not live a happy life due to the fact that you're afraid of having some loose skin. You know, don't let that don't let that freak you out. There are things to do about that. Which leads me to the next question. Did you experience any hair loss after surgery? A lot of people say, this is another thing, a lot of people are like, I really want to get the surgery, but I cannot lose my hair. It's my pride and joy. It's the one good thing I like about myself. I cannot lose my hair. Girl, I feel you, because I put a lot of value on my hair as well too, and my twin sister's a hairdresser, so I'm constantly having her do my hair. Okay, yeah, so you do typically lose some hair with this surgery. Luckily for me, I haven't really experienced like too crazy of hair loss. Some people tell me they'll just be like going like this and combing their fingers through their hair or brushing their hair, and then they like pull out wads of hair. I haven't experienced that exactly. I have noticed that my hair is a little thinner, but nothing crazy, and I think that a lot of that comes with just making sure you stay up on your protein shakes and vitamins. Like, it is so important. Your surgeons and your doctors will keep on telling you over and over again that after the surgery, you need to be committed to taking protein and multivitamins for the rest of your life. And I definitely do my best to do that every single day, and because I am so adamant about getting all my protein in, if not extra protein, and doing my multivitamins plus iron, and I also take hair, skin, and nail vitamins. So I kind of do a lot, but I feel like it's totally necessary, because after this surgery, your portions are so small, you're not getting all the nutrients from food that you once were, so you have to find ways to compensate for that. So yeah, protein powders, protein shakes, and vitamins are definitely the way to go. And if you want to try to prevent any hair loss, that is an amazing thing. Now, if you are someone who you just know you're going to lose a lot of hair, what I will say and what I've done is there's another way to go around that, which is hair extensions. I wish I could tell you that this was all of my real hair, but it's not. I have hair extensions. My natural hair is still pretty long. It's about maybe an inch different from my hair extensions. But I have hair extensions just because I like a fuller look, and while my hair is still growing back after getting this surgery, I just feel more comfortable when my hair is a little bit more full, and I love to have full curls in my hair. So I have hair extensions, and my twin sister put them in for me, and I do the dream catchers, so I'll show you. As they grow every month, I go in and she moves them back up to the root so I can shower with them and do everything with them, and they just kind of stay in. There's no taking out every night, putting them back in the morning. They just stay there, and it's been so easy. Definitely a little bit more pricey than most hair extensions, but it's worth it because it's like hassle-free. And also, if you do put a lot of pride and joy into your hair like I do and care way too much, then extensions are definitely a good option. Like I said, don't let something like hair loss or hair thinning prevent you from wanting to further on to your weight loss journey. It's totally not worth it. Being smaller and feeling good about yourself and feeling good like mentally and emotionally and just letting your body feel good is what's worth it. And there are things that we can do to help enhance the other things that may be lacking, like our hair. So don't let that hurt you. There are ways to work around it, and we will fake it till we make it. Yes. Moving on. Okay, so here's the one that I get asked a lot. So, as most of you know, if you are going through the steps of getting bariatric surgery, your surgeons have probably told you that you're going to have to wait to drink alcohol. Now, you should, because your stomach is going to be so sensitive, and after your surgery, you have to take time to reintroduce things back into your diet, because it's kind of like having a baby stomach. You know, you wouldn't go and feed your infant chicken, so you're gonna have to, you know, work your way up. So they start you off on liquids, and then you go on soft foods, and then semi-soft foods, and then eventually you're pretty much eating whatever you want, just within moderation and within your portion control sizes. So alcohol, I had my first cocktail with like hard alcohol about 4 months after surgery, and that's because I went to Mexico and I was on spring break, and I was like, ooh, I'm a little nervous. It's gonna be my first time drinking after surgery. All I knew was that I needed to stay away from anything carbonated, so I knew no beer, and I knew that I didn't want to like drink anything too sugary, because I was afraid that something too sugary could upset my stomach. Some people talk about dumping syndrome. I've never experienced that yet, still have not. I think it's you know, I think it's a matter of what you eat. You definitely don't want to like overload your stomach with too much junk. I'm not really sure what causes that. I'm just thankful that I have not had to deal with that. But I knew going to Mexico, I needed to stay away from bubbles and sugar. So what I did was, my first drink that I started having, I kept it kind of light, and I just did vodka sodas. So, you know, sparkling water. It does have a little carbonation, but nothing like crazy. Like it wasn't like a soda or a soda or a beer. Like soda and beer, I did try a sip and I could feel right away, like there was like this weird pressure that would happen like right here. Like it just didn't want to go down and settle. So I decided to try the sparkling water, you know, the club soda, and that was totally fine. The carbonation wasn't too strong. So what I did was I ordered a vodka soda, and the carbonation with the soda water was not as strong as like most sodas or beer, so I was able to tolerate that. And I mixed it with vodka, and then I squeezed like 4 or 5 limes into it and just tried to hide the taste of vodka, and it was lightweight and it settled really nicely. So I just had one of those. Now I will say, be careful when it comes to drinking after you have your surgery, because you get drunk a lot faster than you normally would. So sip slow. Like it's just so funny because I'll like post pictures on my Instagram like having a drink, and people are like, how do you drink so much alcohol? Like I thought you can't have alcohol. And it's like, okay, you can still have alcohol. You can enjoy yourself and have a drink. Like I'm 25 years old. If I want to go out with some of my girlfriends or my boyfriend and have a drink, I can have a drink. I'm not going to get crazy trashed and drink something that is going to ruin me, you know. I'm just going to keep it simple and just have a cocktail or two. And I sip on that one cocktail for like literally hours. Like I just drink slow. And I don't want to be like that person that gets like too turned off of one cocktail, because it happened on my birthday, and lesson learned. So yeah, my biggest advice to you is just, you know, take it slow and really like try to pay attention to how your stomach will react to different drinks, and find what works for you, and definitely take it slow, because you don't want to be that person that has to be carried home because you had your stomach stapled and you're out here getting drunk with an egg-sized stomach. So just be careful, but have fun. Live your life. So I think that was enough talking for one night. Sorry, I talk so much, but I hope that I answered some of your guys' questions. And of course, if you have any further questions or you want me to elaborate on anything more, definitely feel free to comment below any questions you might have, and I will do my best to answer those, hopefully in the next video. Like I said, I have a lot of plans to do more question and answer type videos, because there are so many questions I get from you guys, and there's so many different kinds of questions in regards to my surgery and just life after surgery, what I eat, what I do to work out, my boyfriend, my family, where I go to school, just my life, and kind of stuff like that. So I definitely plan to answer a lot more of those for you guys. I'm just starting out with this YouTube channel, and thank you again for bearing with me as I kind of learn the ropes with that. It's not so natural for me to just talk on camera, and like this is kind of uncomfortable for me, but I'm just trying to branch out of my comfort zone here and, you know, answer your guys' questions. Like I said, thank you again for caring and following along with my journey, and I'm so excited to continue to share more with you guys. So stay tuned for the next video, and hopefully you guys can start to learn a little bit more about myself as I continue to share more about my life and answer any questions, and just kind of show you what my life looks like through this entire journey. So it's definitely a never-ending journey, and I'm so excited that you guys are right here alongside of it all. And like I said, thank you so much for just all the support you guys continually show me, and it's just so motivating for me. And I honestly don't think I would have made it this far on my journey if I didn't have the motivation that comes from all of your guys' encouragement I get every single day. So thank you so much. And like I said, any questions or any comments, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Thank you so much for making it this far and watching me talk this long. I'm sorry it was so long, but thank you so much. And I really hope that I got to answer some of those questions, and I look forward to making the next one for you guys.